Not to be, as the Phillies drop the opener of this series in Milwaukee. Welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Amy Fiddle, Ricky Vitalico, and Ruben Amaro Jr. alongside. And guys, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Ranger Suarez just didn't seem like he's back all the way. His ERA north of 4 since he's returning from the IL did not help tonight. And, of course, the bats didn't get anything going either, Rick.
It's like a little bit of everything. I mean, for Ranger, it seems as though, number one, I don't think his velocity is really there. His jump on his fastball hasn't been there. The other thing is I think his curveball is very loopy right now, which means he's not finishing through the baseball. He's not getting a good biting curveball. He's getting I will say this much, he's getting a slower type curveball, which I don't love for him. But I mean, to be able to command on the inside part of the plate, if you're not doing that, you might as well just try to figure something else out. And right now he can't. I mean, he can't find his slot for the inside fastball to the right-handers, which takes away a lot of the outside part of the plate. But Ruben said it in the 7th inning. He gets 30, 40 pitches in, and it looks like he's gassed. Looks like he's done. So I mean, I don't know if it's just something because it's later on in the season or whatnot, but this is not something you need moving towards the playoffs.
Yeah, we saw him take the tumble earlier in the game. You can see we just showed you the magic number still is at 5 to clinch the division. The Mets did win, so it's 5 games to clinch it over the Mets. The Braves lost, so the lead is 8. But really, when you're looking at, they've been struggling to find the 5th starter, but now you have a guy in Ranger Suarez where you have some question marks too. Any level of concern for you?
A little bit of a level of concern. I mean, obviously in the playoffs, you don't immediately need that fourth starter, but you want to have as much depth as you possibly can. Obviously, this is not the Ranger Suarez that we saw in the first part of the season. To me, it's a combination of things, and Ricky mentioned it. To me, he's going to have to be able to have really uber great command right now because of the stuff. The stuff is just not the same. So he's going to have to command the fastball. He's going to have to command all of his pitches. 3 walks, that's not going to get it done. When he has that many walks, it makes it really difficult, and sort of puts the Phillies behind the 8 ball. And unfortunately, they have not swung the bats well early in games as of late, and have not been able to get the big base hit when they need it. Unfortunately, right now they're not playing the kind of baseball after playing really, really well for about 2 weeks. Have not picked it up on the offensive side.
Yeah, an inopportune time for that as they're trying to really kind of get that magic number even smaller, even though it is pretty small at just 5. Let's go back out to Milwaukee and check in with Ben Davis. And Ben, we're looking at the box score. 11 hits, really scattered. When you think about how this game went, 11 hits is actually pretty surprising. But 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They only played those 2 runs. Is this a thing of that they're just maybe trying to do too much when they see their pitcher struggling, or is it just the bats just aren't going right now?
Yeah, just the bats weren't clicking tonight. Obviously, they did scatter those hits, but nothing with it that needed that big blast with runners in scoring position, first and second, a couple innings, and really nothing to show for it, although Schwarber did drive that one in after first and second with nobody out, but that was with 2 outs. It's just not able to string them together, Amy, and I think that's why you see the innings that they have and only putting up 2 runs.
Well, might as well ask you about Ranger, too, since everybody else has kind of chimed in about it. What are your thoughts on Ranger Suarez, not just today, but, last 3-4 starts?
I'm a little concerned, obviously, with the velocity, but the command issues are starting to mount up, and he's a lot of pitches. And as you guys said, he just looked gassed. I said it during the broadcast. And it makes me wonder if, when he was on the IL with these back injuries, how much conditioning he was really able to do, because obviously the back affects everything that you do, and maybe some of the condition that he wanted to do he wasn't able to do because of his back issues, and maybe it was bothering him when he was trying to get that conditioning in. But he looked exhausted out there, especially after the tumble he had on the swinging bunt, the Butcher Boy. It was just, just really out there. He was obviously noticeably sweating profusely, and just not, it seems like he was gasping for breath at times. And that is a cause for concern for me.
Yeah, Ben, so this is Milwaukee team is one of those scrappy type teams. They steal a lot of bases. They put the ball in play. They do those sorts of things. And you saw that in the NLCS last year with the team like the Arizona Diamondbacks. What do the Phillies need to do to sort of combat that? It's been a little bit of an Achilles heel for them.
Yeah, but I like their ball club, Ruben. I think they do a lot of the little things well. Obviously, not a whole lot of household names on that ball club, but they play the game the right way. Pat Murphy has these guys playing the right way. As you mentioned, stealing bases. They're not easy outs. We saw Ranger getting ahead early, really all the Philly, even Alvarado, getting ahead early, but not able to put these guys to bed. And that is something that I think everyone can learn from. And look at what Schwarber did tonight. Just goes outside the strike zone with 2 strikes, but just puts the ball in play, breaks his bat, but gets an RBI and a run for the Phils. Just put balls in play. That's a good thing. And they battle. These guys battle do the Brewers, obviously with the 5 walks, which I really did not like early on the ballgame. 2 of those walks came around to score, and that's something that they can't do because the Brewers had some big 2-out knocks as well, but they really tried to bear down in their ABs, and they were very productive tonight.
I'm sure Rob Thompson's going to be asked about his pitchers, specifically Ranger Suarez. Here he is.
Bag from Ranger, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say so. Actually, after he tumbled on the mound, it looked like his stuff was better. But, yeah, he had trouble finishing hitters off tonight. I think he had 16 2-strike counts and only 5 punch-outs, and that's a little bit low for him. You got to give them credit. They put some good at-bats on him, but his walks hurt. 2 of the 3 walks scored.
What happened to him there on the mound? He just rolled his ankle?
No, it was actually, he slipped. The grass is a little bit thin. He slipped and jammed his right wrist, not his left wrist. So he was
his right wrist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to see out of Ranger these last couple outings to feel confident about him going into October?
Just what I said before the game. To put for the velocity to jump up a little bit and really command the baseball and finish people off.
Since he's come back, have you noticed, second time through the order, it seems like teams are putting better swings on him. Is there something you've noticed maybe in how his outings have progressed?
Well, I think the stuff is a little bit down. I do. That doesn't mean it's not going to come back, and I think it will. And I think, again, it's like his 3rd rehab start. So I think he's going to get better, and I trust him.
Do you think he's in the same shape that he was earlier in the season, or do you think that time off affected him? Is he legs-wise?
I think they're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Alvarado and Banks, you think that was a little bit of rust for them?
Yeah, just rusty.
Sorry. If you guys get by, there's a potential that you might have some relievers who don't pitch for 4 or 5 days like that. Is that something on your mind?
Well, we'll set up sim games if that happens.
Brewers stole a bunch of bases. What makes this team so dangerous on the base paths?
Well, they're a dangerous offensive club. They're very dynamic. They can beat you in a lot of ways. They bunt, they hit and run, they steal bases, and we've been working with Banksy on holding runners. He's trying to change his tempo, and he did a little bit of that tonight, but we still got some work to do there.
And they have 9 bags on him, I think,
Yeah.
since he's come over.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something you guys have identified as.
Yeah.
All right.